Hi. If you're a life insurance or annuity agent, chances are high that you're just like all the rest of us in the fact that you're always looking for ways to get more people to talk to. Some people call it marketing. Let me give you some valuable advice. You don't need to spend another dime towards your insurance career until you see our research. The reason? If you're already in the business, chances are you're on the verge of becoming obsolete pretty soon if you don't make some changes. And if you're a brand new agent, then this is your lucky day because you haven't been in the business long enough to see how doing business the old way can drastically shorten your career. Let's go inside and I'll show you why selling life insurance and annuities is going to change forever and how not to get left behind when it does. Come on. I'm here inside of the corporate headquarters of Consolidated Underwriters, where every day for over 5 decades they have talked to life insurance and annuity agents literally on a daily basis in an attempt to help them sell more life insurance. Recently, there's been a push for life insurance agents to attempt to sell life insurance over the phone instead of the traditional belly-to-belly home meeting. And our research shows that if you're an independent life insurance agent, your chances of making a career in phone sales until now have been extremely low. We'll explain why in a second. If you'll spend a little time with us today, we're going to show you how we have changed this and how you can make an incredible living doing it with some effective training. But before we do, we need to spend a little time talking about why the old way is really frustrating and waste your time and money. Now let's face it, if the old way was working really well, then everyone would be doing it, right? Well, not only that, you'd have to be waiting in line to get a job or a contract to sell for someone. I mean, it's just not the case. During this time, what I'm not going to do is give you a lot of my opinions, but the facts and the science about selling life insurance, more specifically, selling life insurance by phone. Now, if you were looking to get started selling by phone, one of the first places you would start to look for information really is right here on the internet, more specifically here on YouTube. First, I want to call your attention to the other videos that you may or may not have watched when you have done a search for, well, selling life insurance by phone. Before this video was produced, we took the time to look at every video on the first page of this subject and a couple even on the second pages. What we want to share with you is the truth about what we discovered and let you come to your own conclusions about how these systems might would work for you. But just point out a few things that you may not realize as it pertains to the current market out there. And you can watch it for yourself and verify the accuracy of what we're saying. But for one particular video, well, it had over 100,000 views and it featured poor quality and poor audio and video quality piece, and just kind of told you how easy it was to sell life insurance by phone. Kind of gives you a few suggestions on what to say on the phone when you get them, and tells you how to buy cheap internet leads. Well, along that, they had his number to contact him and how to get started. I mean, it was a good video, except the key word was a good video, because it was recorded over 4 years ago, and let me tell you, a lot has changed since then. For instance, you cannot get that type of lead that he describes anymore, and to be nice about it, we just can leave it at that. However, if you could get those types of leads, you'd have another large obstacle ahead of you. It's called ROBO-DIALER overload. You see, if you try to call these types of leads, chances are that because of the constant onslaught of robocalls daily to our phones, it will give you very little chance in reaching a live person on the other end of the line. Now, our country has become very resistant to answering any call from anyone that they don't know who is calling because of this ROBO-DIALER overload. Now, you think about it. How many calls do you receive per week or per day that have a recording on the other end? I mean, recently they've become even more sophisticated. I mean, the calls actually show up as a local number, as if it was your next door neighbor calling. You've seen it for yourself, I'm sure. But to take it a step further, the FCC has become increasingly concerned because they now can use any number to show up on your caller ID. It's called number spoofing. And scammers in other countries use this technology to scam folks into thinking that a call actually might be coming from somewhere official. It's a real problem for phone sales of all kinds, especially life insurance. Are you sure that you want to try to start out selling that way? Then there's a whole other series of videos on YouTube here where this person has apparently a lot of experience cold calling. Now, his message in one of the first videos is, if you pay for leads, you're stupid. All you have to do is download a list of phone numbers that are available for free on the internet and just call them. Now, in all fairness, he has some really good ideas. However, if you do what he suggests, that just adds to the problem that I just described about ROBO-DIALERs. The only difference with this type of lead and an internet lead is that he suggests that you get a list of free numbers of business professionals, and that because of their profession, they must answer their phone and actually stay in business themselves. So he suggests that you load those numbers into the auto-dialer software and start calling them at the rate of 200 or so per hour. Now, here's the problem with that, as anyone could plainly see. Once you get someone on the phone, you have a couple more obstacles to overcome. In the first instance, you're actually calling people that at some point had indicated that they were interested in getting life insurance. But now, with this sell by phone method, you actually have to establish credibility in seconds. And then you have to convince them that they need life insurance if they don't have it. And if they do, you have to convince them to allow someone they have never seen replace what they have. Now, the way this person describes it, it makes it seem so simple, because they state the goal on the first phone call is only to give a free quote. Now, I certainly agree that offering a quote is about all you can hope for on this first call. But in order to do that, you must get them to first tell you their birth date, their height, their weight, and most importantly, their email address in order to send a quote. Now, that's where you're going to lose the majority of the people on the phone. Yes, you will get a few people to do this, but the larger majority will simply hang up on you. Now, I'll show you the math on that in a minute. So, let's say that you got that far. You've got someone to talk to a complete stranger long enough to establish some kind of rapport, and you've got their information, and you run their quotes, and you email it to them. Now, you've got two more obstacles in front of you. Those obstacles are getting them to answer your return call again, and then getting them to actually look at the quote. You see, there's some people who are just nice by nature, and they really don't like to say no, and because it makes them feel bad. So to appease you, they just let you send them a quote, and then they avoid future contact. Now, if you've been doing this all day, every day, as an agent for some time, you have to be a special type of person to keep a positive attitude, because the rejection rate is so high. Now, I certainly agree that the cost for marketing is low. If that's what you want to do, and I'm sure you can find the videos, and he'll teach you how to do it. So, the real question is that you're looking at answers for today is, can you be successful selling life insurance over the phone? The answer is not a cut and dried yes, but more like a yes if type of answer. Meaning yes if you take what the big boys are doing and improve upon it. And if you haven't realized this yet, you're not going to see a video on YouTube or anywhere else where the big boys are going to give out their random secrets to success so that they can create their own competition. I mean, companies like Esurance, SelectQuote, AIG Direct, all sell life insurance over the phone, and way more than any person that's created a video here on YouTube. You know, I can promise you that these are multi-million-dollar companies, and not once have they ever used a random cold call dialing method to solicit new clients. They are all talking to people who have at least shown interest first. Now here's the real numbers if you wanted to try these methods. Operating at the best possible efficiency, it is a proven fact that when you are having a phone conversation with someone, you're only operating at 30% communication effectiveness. So even if everyone you talk to could afford life insurance and everyone you talk to was insurable when you called them, everyone was ready to buy that day, and the statistics show that you still could only sell about 3 out of 10 of the people who you called. Now, if you could personally do that, you'd probably be rich, let me tell you. I mean, however, I said these are the numbers of life insurance sales producers operating at the best possible efficiency, which is scientifically proven to be 30% as the best possible because they're only talking to them over the phone. Now, this is in a perfect world scenario, mind you. Everyone knows we don't live in a perfect world, so now factor in that you may be talking to someone that is not insurable, or you may be talking to someone that would absolutely love to buy some life insurance but didn't realize that they had to pay for it. Also factor in that they may have called 5 other people looking for prices, and you don't have the best one, and you don't know how to sell your way out of price objections. I'm telling you that the absolute best you could hope for is a 1% closing ratio. Now, meaning you're only going to sell 1% of those who you dial and call and talk to, and that you're able to send a quote to. Scientifically and mathematically, the only way to improve the closing ratio for the number of people you talk to is one way, and one way only. And that's to increase the communication efficiency. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, if this is a video to tell me I need to step up my game and to read every sales book that I can get my hands on, then, and one day I might could increase my sales results, then duh, I already knew that. That is not what this is about. Remember, I said you need to take what the big boys are doing and improve upon it, especially before they do. How could you improve upon it? Or how could you improve upon the communication effectiveness in a way that has you at a distinct advantage and not the usual disadvantage? Well, just like the big boys I described, no one is going to post a video on how to create their own competition. However, I can tell you that we have cracked the code, and if you're one of the sharp ones, we are willing to share it. We have tested it ourselves, me personally. We've actually written thousands of dollars in life and annuity premium. And we've recorded the entire process while we did it to make training videos. We promise you, it is like nothing else you have ever seen. Basically, we have mastered a method that communicates with prospects at over a 90% communication effectiveness. It's actually closer to 98%, but we don't want you to think we're trying to hype anything here. Hype is not our goal. Duplicating our method is the goal. Now, I'm sure you've heard a lot of promises from insurance marketing companies about how they're going to help you. But when you call them, the only help that they're offering is usually to get a little more off of your lead costs the more business you give them. Or they'll try to offer you some higher commissions. If higher commissions was the answer, we'd easily be the largest IMO in the world. But for the first time in about 20 years, we actually have something new to offer you that we are sure will change the life insurance sales industry. And once you see it, you'll laugh at the way that you used to be taught to sell life insurance. There are at least 8 different new components that we use in our sell by phone system that will increase your communication effectiveness. But just so you'll know we're just not full of promises, let me give you one today. Did you know that the United States has reached 100% saturation recently on people who own a mobile phone? Now you might say, big deal. Thanks for the information, Nostradamus. I mean, when everyone else is trying to call you on your cell phone, we're not. We're texting your cell phone. Guess what? Text messages have a 100% open rate and a 98% read rate. Again, that is math and science. Now let me go back to all of those things that other folks are telling you about how great selling by phone is. One of the videos suggests that you get phone numbers from a downloaded public list, and the other one suggests that you purchase cheap internet leads and says that's the answer. Now, do you realize how an internet lead is created? Have you ever gone online yourself to fill out a form of any kind to get information in exchange for you filling out that form? If you have, there's a high likelihood that you did not give out your cell phone number as a contact number. You gave that old home phone number or an office number or something. Well, so did most everyone else. Now look, if texting was the answer, someone would have already figured that out. But before you go clicking stop on the video and saying, that's it, I've got it. All I need to do is start getting cell phone numbers and texting them. I don't need you to do that. Bye. Thanks for the information. Well, it's really not that simple. It has more to do with the message that you send than the fact that you actually sent them a text. In fact, just because you've sent a text that has a 98% read rate doesn't mean that we are now saying that you have achieved a 98% communication effectiveness. That is not mathematical proof. That's just someone making up numbers. The research we have seen shows that a text message increases your communication effectiveness by 8%. So, with just that information, by just taking a text with a phone call, you're actually operating closer to 40% communication effectiveness, which is better, but nowhere near the 98% communication effectiveness that we have proven to achieve. But for sure, whatever message you choose to send on a text, you're automatically going to increase your communication effectiveness and increase your odds of closing a case. Some of the bigger companies are moving to text communication, and some life insurance salespersons are trying it out, but they still really have 7 more effective methods to figure out that we have. All you have to do is use a system that drastically increases your communication effectiveness, and it will reduce your obstacles. The results maximizes your time so that you aren't on the phone getting rejected more than you're making sales. Now, before we go any further, it's important to note that our new system is not for everyone. This is not an anyone can do it type of system. And that's a good thing. However, this system doesn't make you rely on master salesmanship to make a sale. I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt to be a good salesperson, but if you frequently find yourself saying the words, I can't, then this isn't for you. Ask yourself this. Do you know how to use a smartphone well? Do you know how to use a computer pretty well? Preferably an Apple product, MacBook Pro or an iMac. Do you have an insurance license or are willing to get one? Do you have between 15 and 30 hours per week to devote to your business? If so, then your life is about to change. Now at this point, what you want for us to do is to go over every detail of our system in this video so that you can decide if this is for you. However, that is not what is best for either of us. It's not best for us and it's not best for you, because doing that would be creating our own competition, and at the same time we would be creating your competition. Currently, you have virtually none. So here are the details of our system that we can guarantee you we have the answers for. We can show you how to get everyone that you call on the phone within 5 minutes 80% of the time, and within a few hours the other 20% of the time. The people that you call will actually be interested in buying life insurance and will be willing to talk to you. We'll show you how to build rapport in an impressive manner, and we will also show you how to present a proposal for life insurance and never need an appointment to do it. We'll show you how to know when the best time to follow up is. We'll show you how you'll never have to leave your home to do this unless you want to. Now, if you stayed with us till the very end, this is not where we're going to ask you for a credit card and tell you that if you buy our system, that we're going to give you a 200% satisfaction guarantee. Our system is not for sale. Now, if we were trying to sell it, I promise you, we would ask several $1,000s for it. That is not our goal. As I said at the beginning, our goal is to find bright, open-minded people that can learn to duplicate our success. We're looking to interview in an attempt to locate the right people that we feel will be successful in using our complete system. Now, the key words here is complete system, because we're actually offering 4 levels of access based on how you might fit into our business model, until we find the right ones that will allow total access to the highest level. Now, in the process, you should be able to create a very comfortable living at the comfort of your own home and schedule, with the possibility that if you master the process, you can make additional income mentoring others if you so desire. Now, if this interests you and you think you might be that person, then simply give us a call. Even if you're an agent with another marketing organization and simply want to stay there where you are, we have something that we can offer you that can improve your results immediately. For more information and details on how you might fit in here at Consolidated Underwriters, give us a call during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., or drop us a quick email. We look forward to helping you with your success.